1940s Bombay, a city of dreams and desperation. Ships unloaded gold, silver and electronics, but not all of it went to customs. Some went to the men who controlled the docks, and one man rose above them all. Haji Mastan Mirza, a smuggler, a businessman, a legend, the man who ruled Mumbai without firing a single bullet. Born in 1926 in a small village in Tamil Nadu, Mastan Haidar Mirza came to Mumbai with his father, a poor cycle repairman. Life in Mumbai was tough, but Mastan was tougher. He worked at the docks, earning just a few rupees a day. But every day, he saw something that changed his destiny: gold bars being secretly unloaded under the noses of the police. Mastan realized the real money wasn't in hard work. It was in smart work. In the post-independence landscape of the 1950s, Bombay was a city of stark contrasts and immense opportunity. The government's protectionist policies, designed to foster local industry, had an unintended side effect: a thriving black market. With exorbitant import duties, foreign goods became symbols of status and desire. Electronics from Japan, watches from Switzerland, gold from Dubai, everything had a black market value, and the port was the gateway. This economic climate didn't just create a market. It created an entire underground ecosystem, a world of shadows and whispers where fortunes could be made overnight. Into this exploding world stepped a young man named Mastan Haidar Mirza. He hadn't come to Bombay with power or money, but with something far more valuable: a sharp, analytical mind and an almost unnerving calmness. Starting as a humble dock porter, he spent years learning the port's rhythm, its vulnerabilities, and its gatekeepers. He understood that true power wasn't in brute force, but in influence. With his fearless attitude, he began to meticulously build a network of connections with the dock workers who loaded the cargo, the customs officials who stamped the papers, and the businessmen who craved the illicit goods. He built a syndicate based on mutual benefit and unwavering loyalty. Soon, his reputation solidified. Ships carrying smuggled goods started arriving at the port, their manifests a work of fiction. Mastan became the master conductor of this silent orchestra. He was the man who could move anything through customs, silently, smoothly, and safely. His operations were a marvel of logistics, a system so efficient it ran like a parallel, invisible customs department. For a price, the impossible became possible. ये सामान बॉम्बे से कैसे निकलता है बिना रिकॉर्ड के? हर हफ्ते नए कंसाइनमेंट, लेकिन फाइल में कुछ नहीं।
रिकॉर्ड यहाँ सब जुबानी चलता है। तुमने हाजी भाई का नाम सुना है, उनकी मर्जी के बिना यहाँ पत्ता भी नहीं हिलता।
By the 1960s, Haji Mastan was untouchable. He had transcended the gritty world of the docks to become a phenomenon. He wasn't just a smuggler. He was a brand, a symbol of power that operated in plain sight. He cultivated an image of a sophisticated businessman, a benefactor who held court and settled disputes, blurring the lines between the underworld and high society. His signature style became his armor and his announcement. The immaculate white clothes, the gleaming white Mercedes, the dark sunglasses. It was a uniform of untouchability. This wasn't the attire of a man hiding in the shadows. It was the statement of a man who owned them. His influence was so pervasive that even the police, the very enforcers of the law, would offer a salute when his car passed by. It was a gesture that said more than any report ever could. In the city of Bombay, there were laws, and then there was Haji Mastan. He had become a parallel authority, a a king without a crown, ruling his coastal empire with a quiet confidence that was more intimidating than any overt threat. In an underworld defined by brute force, Haji Mastan carved a different path. Unlike other dons who ruled through fear, Mastan avoided direct violence. He understood that true power wasn't held at the end of a gun, but in the palm of a handshake. He cultivated an image not of a gangster, but of a sophisticated businessman and social worker, a persona that opened doors violence would have slammed shut. He believed in influence, not intimidation, a philosophy that would make him the undisputed kingmaker of Bombay's clandestine empire. His strategy was simple: make allies, not enemies. He meticulously built a sprawling network of connections that reached into every corner of the city's elite. He made friends with powerful politicians, high-ranking police officers, and the glittering stars of the film industry. His close friendship with legendary actor Dilip Kumar and filmmaker Feroz Khan was his golden ticket into the world of Bollywood. He wasn't just an outsider looking in. He became an integral, albeit shadowy part of the industry's financial backbone.
हाजी भाई, आप स्मगलर हैं या प्रोड्यूसर? लोग कहते हैं आपका पैसा समुंदर से आता है।
मैं बिजनेसमैन हूं, लोग क्या नाम देते हैं उससे मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता। समुंदर सबको देता है, बस नसीब होना चाहिए।
This ambiguity was his shield. He openly financed films, becoming a savior for producers on the brink of collapse and a launchpad for struggling actors. Many careers in Bollywood were quietly built on foundations laid by Mastan's undeclared wealth. He wasn't just investing money, he was investing in loyalty, creating a web of grateful allies who owed him their success. But behind the charm and the white safari suits was a shrewd operator who controlled the city's underworld from his living room. He was the final word, the ultimate arbiter. Every major smuggler, from the formidable Pathan gang lord Karim Lala to the powerful South Indian Don Varadarajan Mudalia, respected his authority. In a landmark move, Mastan brokered a truce among these warring factions. Together, they formed a code of peace, a triumvirate that divided Mumbai's territories to avoid mutual destruction. This masterstroke of diplomacy didn't just prevent bloodshed, it consolidated his own position at the very top, transforming him from a mere smuggler into the chairman of the board of Bombay's underworld. The 1970s marked a seismic shift in Bombay's hidden world. The unwritten rules that had governed the docks for decades began to fray. The era of the so-called gentleman smuggler was ending. A new, more ruthless generation was rising, hungry for more than just profit. They craved absolute power, and they were willing to shed blood to get it. This wasn't just business anymore, it was warfare. Men like Varadarajan Mudalia or Vada Bhai, who had a stranglehold on the illicit liquor trade, and the notoriously violent Pathan gangs, led by Karim Lala, began to aggressively expand their territories. They introduced a level of brutality the city hadn't seen before, breaking the fragile peace Haji Mastan had carefully maintained. Their currency was fear. And into this volatile mix stepped a young, ambitious police constable's son from Dongri, Dawood Ibrahim. He saw the underworld not as a collection of fiefdoms, but as a global enterprise waiting to be built. He didn't just want a piece of Bombay, he wanted to control its very pulse. He saw the old guard, including Haji Mastan, as relics of a bygone era. Their code of honor was, in his eyes, a weakness. This fundamental clash of ideologies was destined to erupt. Aapka daur khatam ho raha hai, Haji Bhai. Ye naya zamana hai. Yahan sharafat se kaam nahi chalta. Respect se zyada logon ko dar chahiye.
डर से सिर्फ दुश्मनी मिलती है, डर से इज्जत नहीं मिलती दाऊद। इज्जत कमानी पड़ती है और तुम गलत रास्ते पर हो।
That exchange defined the chasm between old Bombay and the emerging Mumbai. While Dawood, driven by a thirst for empire, relocated to Dubai to build his infamous D Company into a transnational crime syndicate, Haji Mastan saw the writing on the wall. The world he knew, the one he had mastered, was gone. Disgusted by the escalating violence, he began a calculated withdrawal from the life he had led for over 3 decades. He was stepping out of the shadows, leaving behind an empire of contraband for a new, uncertain future as the city braced for the storm that Dawood's reign would unleash. By the 1980s, Haji Mastan transformed his image. He started a political party, Bharatiya Minorities Suraksha Mahasangh, to support Muslims and poor workers. He spoke openly against violence and began helping those who once feared him.
अगर सिस्टम बदलना है तो सिस्टम के अंदर जाना पड़ेगा।
The Don who once ruled the seas was now walking the path of peace. In 1994, Haji Mastan passed away, quietly, peacefully, just as he lived his later life. Thousands attended his funeral, from film stars to gangsters. He left behind not fear, but fascination. Bollywood immortalized him in movies, from Deewar's Amitabh Bachchan to Once Upon a Time in Mumbai's Ajay Devgan. They called him a smuggler, a don, a kingpin. But to many, he was also a gentleman, a man of his word, and the first to turn crime into class.